Alright, you guys, welcome back to another Madden 23 Lions franchise, and we are getting back into the live commentaries, finally, because I have a microphone that is working, so we don't have to go and do those post-game commentaries. We are going to be playing the Giants live this week, and on top of that, we got a lot of different things to go through and different things to check off this week, first of which being the mock draft. So I did a little bit of preliminary research on the mock draft, and so this is kind of the updated look of it right now. When we were looking at the original mock draft, we had 3 of the top 5 projected players that were in the top 5. Now going into mock number 2, we still have 3, but the order has switched around a little bit. And right now, Otis Benedict is projected to go as the number 1 overall pick to the Colts. And looking at where they're projecting us to be, last time we were at number 32. And considering our record is still very good, they now have us at number 31 with the Texans at number 32, which is a little bit surprising because, again, the Texans were a team that lost their quarterback in the offseason because Ryan Tannehill retired, and they picked up Cade Cody from Arizona State, a 5'11 rookie quarterback that is their new starting QB. So that's interesting to see. But we're going to go through a couple of the prospects that I like coming up right here. So our main needs really lie on defense because offensively we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of young players filling positions that might be an area of need. So we really are not looking for another quarterback because we think we have, our future franchise quarterback. We're not really looking for a halfback because we have Ramondre and we have a couple other halfbacks as well. We're not looking for a wide receiver because we have, 2 of the best wide receivers in the NFL, along with some other younger wide receivers like Antoine Andrews, who could potentially fill that slot spot. And then at tight end, we have Quentin Posey. Our O-line is fantastic, and while they are older, we do also have younger options as backups for the O-line. So primarily on defense, what we're looking for is a defensive tackle. That's our number 1 need, because right now we have a veteran, Williams, at D-tackle, who is, like a low 70 overall. He's actually injured right now, and so Nate Vasher has been playing a lot, and he's our rookie D-tackle we drafted who has very low block shed, which is unusual for a D-tackle. So that's kind of our number 1 need right now. But just because it's our number 1 need doesn't mean it's going to be our first draft pick necessarily. We also are looking for edge rushers, and we're still looking for a safety to round out, kind of someone that's going to fit in the back end of the defense alongside Isaiah Simmons. Remember, that could also be Tariq Woolen. If we have a corner in the draft that we really like, we could move Tariq over and put Eric Stokes starting with Patrick Surtain and have, the rookie potential cornerback being the nickel. But anyways, yeah, so those are the 3 main needs on defense: a D tackle, an edge rusher, a safety. And then the other thing that we're potentially looking for is, a halfback, a speed halfback, a receiving halfback, or some sort of athlete. Could be a wide receiver that can be utilized in the run game and also receiving. So, another Cordarrelle type of player. And we don't really have anything like that right now, aside from Cordarrelle. And we need somebody to kind of fill that role because Cordarrelle is getting a little bit older. He's seeing a lot less playing time. So we're looking for that next Cordarrelle type player, but someone that's a little bit faster than Cordarrelle as well. We want someone that has 95 speed. That's ideally what we're looking for. Someone that's a taller halfback, maybe 6 foot, 6'1", that can, again, run out of the backfield, has high carrying, has high juke, and has, good catching and good route running. So, yeah, we're looking for, just an overall athlete on offense that can fit at the running back or wide receiver spot. And looking at some of the prospects, the number 1 prospect from what we've looked at is Sean Hazelwood. So he's a 6'5 speed rusher, and his block shed is pretty solid. And the thing I like most about him, though, is he's 22 years old, which is good, but he has great to elite speed at 6'5", great to elite excel, and then he also has, the rest of his stats are very good as well. Solid to good strength, decent to solid change of direction, and then going into his skill set, he might have good zone coverage. It's yet to be seen. His tackle is at least decent. He has A, finesse move, B, pursuit, C, hit power is not great, C, block shed is okay. It's serviceable at least, but he's probably going to end up being an edge rusher similar to a Max Crosby, but he might be faster than Max Crosby. He might be more of an athlete than Max Crosby, and he could potentially also play a little bit of zone coverage for us as well. So he could be on the D-line, but he could also go back out and play like the flat or play over the middle a little bit. So I like him a lot. as just a pure athlete, but also the skill set that he has and the height that he has as well. Now, the number one position that we want to get filled is D tackle, and Dontrell Parker might be available for us because, again, we're not picking at the top 5 of the draft. We're picking late first round most likely, based off of especially our record currently. And Dontrell Parker, 6'4", 300 pounds, 22 years old. He is a little bit less an athlete. He's got good to great speed, actually, and good to great excel, but he's a little bit more of a power rusher. He's got A hit power. He's got A tackle. He's got B power moves, and we don't know what his finesse moves look like. I guess it says C. Could have A to C block shed. So I do like kind of him as an all-around D tackle. He kind of fits the bill in every single category. He's not just a pure run stopper. He kind of does a little bit of everything. And what I said about him not being an athlete, clearly I was wrong because he's got like a little bit of everything. He's got good to great on pretty much everything. So yeah, forget what I said about that. But yeah, the dude he's kind of a freak in terms of his skill set, and athletically he's very good. So he would be the option at D tackle. And then we got a couple O linemen here that we're not really going to get into specifically, but like Jake Klein is a right tackle that we could be looking at. Again, that's not really a position of need for us. That's just some player that could potentially fall to around where we're drafting at. Tevin Barrett I also like at left end at Alabama. He's a speed rusher at 6'2". And again, this is something that we don't necessarily need, but he definitely looks great on paper. He's got good to great speed, great to elite excel. He has very good everything except for his strength is just decent to solid. Looking at his skills, he's got A finesse. He has B play rec. His pursuit could be very good. His block shed might be decent. His power moves might be decent. His tackle is okay, and his stam, it doesn't look that good, but again, this is something that we don't necessarily need. We don't really need a speed rusher per se because we have so many different players that kind of fit the bill right now. We do have, Max Crosby on the edge. We do have Baron Browning as well, and we have Trey Hendrickson. We have DeMarcus Lawrence. We've got a lot of really good pass rushers, and, Sean Hazelwood is a little bit different because he can play a little bit of zone. Tevin Barrett is a little bit more of a traditional, just pure, edge rusher. So looking down the list, Otis Benedict is projected to go number 1 overall, so we're most likely not going to be able to get him. That's why he's a little bit lower on this list. And looking around, I was looking at the safeties and some of the other edge linebackers, and there's not a whole lot there. Troshan Spellman is the player that would most fit what I'm looking for in a safety, but at this point, we are getting so desperate for a safety to play alongside Isaiah Simmons. We have Ryan Neal right now, but we are so desperate to find something that we really are trying to, kind of get a little bit of anything at the position. And I'm going to be honest, I was looking at all the free safeties and all the strong safeties, and not one of them has good speed. Not one of them has good to great speed, or great to elite speed, or excel even. They're all very slow safeties, and none of them are really tall either. So those are the two first things I'm looking for as disqualifiers, and so I'm not seeing anything. Sean Spellman himself, who fits most likely with the team, has marginal to decent speed. This is literally the best safety I could find. He's got B block shed. He's got B to D hit power. So nothing that really jumps off the page. He doesn't really have any skill that I am wowed by particularly, but he's projected as a first to second round safety. What I did find, though, was a couple of corners that could potentially be moved over to the safety spot if Tariq Woolen does not go to the safety spot. So Jabari Hicks is a 6-foot corner out of Alabama, and what I'm looking for in a corner that can potentially play safety is, a corner that's going to be playing the safety that's going to be playing a back end a lot more, because Isaiah Simmons is a 6'4" safety that's going to be playing up on the line a little bit more than this safety, and Isaiah Simmons is going to be more physical. He has more hit power. He's a better athlete. What I want this safety to be able to do at least is just play very solid coverage. And so Jabari Hicks is more of a slot style corner. Again, 6 feet tall. He's got solid to good speed, great to elite agility. His excel is not that great, but what I do like about him is that his hit power is decent. His zone is very solid. His play rec is very low at D. His tackle is very good. So those are sort of the traits I'm looking for, though, specifically. Is I'm looking for play rec for a safety. I'm looking for hit power. I'm looking for tackling, and I'm looking for zone coverage primarily. Man coverage is also important, but usually you think you're going to kind of get that with a corner anyways. But Jabari Hicks didn't fit super well, But Jamario Gates, on the other hand, a day 3 corner, actually looks pretty solid. It's a 5'11 corner out of Arkansas. He is a zone corner, 23 years old, has solid to good speed, so nothing crazy athletically. But again, this is a day 3 player that we could get, in the 3rd round for sure. He's got B catching. He's got A to C hit power, so he might have a little bit of hit power. He's got C tackling, which is decent enough. He's got C zone coverage. And he's got F man coverage for a corner, which is pretty bad. But the main thing is his hit power could be very high, which is what I think is pretty important. His zone coverage is decent. His tackle is decent. So really, again, nothing that is really an answer at the safety position. Just a whole bunch of players that could develop into being a starting safety. Because right now, Pat Hopkins is our future at safety, at the free safety spot. And I just don't trust him at free safety long term, if I'm being honest. And so those are basically our options at safety. I haven't looked at athletes or wide receivers or running backs that could be versatile athletes yet. That is what we'll probably be doing in a follow-up video. But now we're going to go ahead and get into some of the other things we need to accomplish this week before we get into the Giants game. All right, looking at the weekly awards, Patrick Surtain with 2 tackles and 4 interceptions in the last game. And he currently, I think, has 11 interceptions on the season through week 7. So he's on pace to break the record for picks in a season easily. And, there's not much I can say about it. There's nothing that I'm particularly doing. I haven't edited the sliders in any way. We play a lot of man coverage, and people keep throwing on curls to him, and he just gets a lot of picks. And he's got a couple pick sixes this season as well. But, yeah, fantastic game for him. Now, we do have something for a breakout DB for Tariq, which is huge because I've wanted to get him upgraded. And so we want to hold the Giants to less than 200 passing yards or get Tariq an interception, a forced fumble, tackle for loss, or a sack, which I think is very doable. It's so important that we get Tariq a development upgrade. We also have an important prompt here because Cooper seems to be injured for this game, so he's going to be out for it. We want to go ahead and challenge the team because Jameson is going to be able to fill that spot, I think, for sure. And do a great job in this game, but I want to see Antoine Andrews step up for sure as well. And so the entire offensive line is going to have +5 pass block and pass block finesse, power and finesse. All right, and we're finally into the game against the Giants. Thank you guys for those of you who have stuck around up to this point. And if you guys don't remember, in Season 1, we played against the Giants in the NFC Championship game, and we absolutely crushed them like 35-7. Jacoby Brissett coming back out on the field, and he's not having a great season. 11 TDs to 11 picks. But I'm sure they want to get a little bit of revenge in this game on Sunday night. Now, the main difference about this team, looking through their roster, so they still got Christian McCaffrey, Michael Carter. They got Donovan Peoples-Jones, Laviska Shenault, Sammy Watkins. You have Alexander Mentor, who's a rookie. David Njoku, Trey McBride. Their O-line is decent. They have a rookie center. Let's see, anything else? Grady Jarrett at right end, Fletcher Cox, Danielle Hunter, Jerome Baker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Jair Alexander at corner, Javarius Ward, and Rock Ya-Sin. So some very good corners, very good D-line. Daxton Hill at free safety, and then at strong safety, Jimmy Ward. So yeah, again, their defense is very good. Their offense is not as solid, although I will say that their tight ends are very good. Their wide receiver group is okay. Christian McCaffrey's fantastic, and Jacoby Brissett is getting a little bit older, but he's still 73 overall. All right, on 1st and 10, first play of the game. They're in shotgun formation. We're just in base 3-4. Watching curl flats. They love doing curl flats combos, and eventually Jacoby Brissett's just going to chuck it away here. And on the first play of the game, Landon Dickerson coming down with an injury. Nothing really even occurred on that play. Again, here on 3rd and 4. The only problem I don't like right now is that Pat Hopkins is on the field. Again, I don't think he should be getting that many reps. Surtain gets beat on the slant, and they do pick up the first down. I was so worried about the left side of the field with Pat Hopkins that I was not paying attention to the slant on the right. And Browning has played really solid when we've been putting him in zone coverage. Here, a run by Christian McCaffrey, picking up a couple yards. It's going to be 2nd and 7 now. McCaffrey's having a good season. 600 rushing yards in the season, and only 3 TDs, surprisingly. But again, we're going to stick in 3-4 a little bit more. The only thing is, right now they do have 4 receivers on the field, or 3 receivers on the field. We're playing underneath. but they chuck it down to Christian McCaffrey, and Surtain with a big hit on McCaffrey. A little bit surprising. Surtain has been playing so well this season for us. Obviously, the 11 interceptions and the 4 touchdowns is crazy, but, you know, he's even getting big hits. Here, a nice little run, and Max Crosby with a nice big hit on Michael Carter, but they do pick up the first down. Here, playing a little big nickel, a little play action out of I-form, it looks like. They're not getting pressure with Christian Harris, and they have a receiver wide open finally. Surtain trying to get the big hit, but he cannot do it, and Hopkins misses the tackle, so Njoku takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. And that's a good first drive for the Giants. We did not make enough plays, and our play calling was kind of spotty, to be honest, as well, but our pass rush was not getting there, giving Jacoby a lot of time to just sit there and eventually wait for a receiver to get open. On the return, we got Moses Brackett, actually, who we recently switched over to doing kick returns, and only taking it up to the 21. Wanted to see him get a little bit of run. He does not get a lot of opportunities to get any playing time, and Stephen Murphy was not really doing a whole lot on kick returns, so I think putting Moses Brackett in that position is a good idea for now. We'll kind of see how he performs on kick returns going forward. Again, Cooper Kupp is out for this game, so right now Cordarrelle is lined up at the wide receiver spot. I don't know about that, but he's on the jet sweep, or the fake jet sweep. Ramondre on the run, only able to pick up 1 yard. But Cordarrelle playing a little bit of wide receiver, I don't actually like that. I want to make sure our other receivers get a little PT. Seeing Antoine Andrews over to the right here, get the pass off, and he catches it, taking us up to the 40-yard line. But yeah, Cooper's out, so Jameson is sitting at that number 1 spot right now. Got a little bit of single back going on with double tight ends. Little play action again here. And we got a crosser in Antoine Andrews. He cannot hold on to it, though. It's a little bit of a high pass there, a little bit inaccurate, forcing Antoine to try to jump up for the ball, and the safety's coming there just in time just to knock it loose. Throwing it underneath to Cordarrelle. Cordarrelle getting tackled, losing yards in that play, so it's going to be 3rd and 14. It's going to be 3rd and long. I'd also like to remind you guys, while Cooper Kupp is out, so is Quentin Posey for this game. I think he's going to be missing 1 more game after this. On 3rd and 14, running play action, I see Moses Brackett. He's able to get the catch, and that signature number 24, which no receiver has, really. That's a big first down picked up by Moses Brackett. Keeps the drive alive. Here we're going to get a little bit of a runoff here with Ramondre, see if we can get some yards. An immediate block shed. Ramondre getting to the edge, though, getting 1 defender to kind of fall off of him, picking up 7 yards on the run. Not bad. Going to run it again here with Ramondre, see what he can do. And the blocks have not been fantastic. We do get enough just to get that first down, though. Going to run a little bit of a counter here. We could have probably bumped it outside, but we do get tackled for a loss on that play. Still in pistol here. Running a little bit of a play action. We have been running quite a bit. Hopefully it works. We got Juwan Howard sitting underneath. Get the pass up to him. Makes it 3rd and 8. And like I said, this Giants team, they definitely want revenge after what we did to them in the NFC Championship game. It was definitely a beatdown. Trying to get the throw off in time, but because it was a play action, we could not get the throw off to Calvin Austin. He was wide open for a period, but then eventually ran right across the middle, and Jake Zimmer kind of forced that one right to the middle linebacker, and they get the pick. But, yeah, no, the Giants are playing with a whole lot of... They're playing with a whole lot of energy. The Giants are playing with a whole lot of energy, and they want to get revenge. And I don't blame them. In I-form here, running with Christian McCaffrey. We kind of missed the hole. McCaffrey gets at least the first down, getting all the way up to the 35. I definitely remember playing against the Giants last time, and McCaffrey did almost nothing against us. And ideally, we'd like to keep it the same way, but so far, having a good amount of success on the run. Here, running it again, eventually just runs into his O-lineman's back and loses a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 11 now. And they're in shotgun. They got 3 receivers out left. We're dropping back into coverage. They're throwing it underneath, and it's going to be a completion for only a gain of 3. Definitely need to get them off the field here, though, to start the 2nd quarter. Got to get our offense another chance after throwing that initial interception. On 3rd and 8, we're running a little bit of cover 1. Going to trust our corners to be able to man up here. We're watching the slant. There's a second slant, though. Oh, but dropping back. Njoku almost absolutely mossed Ryan Neal, but Ryan Neal did a great job in coverage, getting his hand on the ball at least. I was worried there for a second because it did not look like Neal was in position. But they're going to have to punt, and we get them to come off the field. Isaiah Simmons on the return. Can't really do anything with it. Didn't really get any blocks. Going to be down at the 14 to start our first drive, or our second drive. On 1st and 10 with Hebert in the backfield here. A little read option, and we can keep it. And we're going to, but we have a hold on the play probably. I don't know why, but read option holds occur a lot more often on Sim. And yeah, it's going to be a hold by Tyron Smith. And that hurts the drive a little bit here. Getting back in a shotgun though. Throwing a very dangerous pass under pressure as well to a running back playing receiver right now. Don't know about that decision making. Now I see they have a lot of DBs on the field. They're very spread out. I'm going to run Ramondre up the middle here. And couldn't get great blocks. Also kind of just stuttered at the line. And it's going to be 3rd and 15. On 3rd and 15, I do like Ramondre going across the field. He catches it. Again, keeping us alive with some long completions. Had a couple of drives that have kind of stalled out, gotten to us to a 3rd and long situation, but we've been able to pick up these long 3rd down plays, but we cannot continue to rely on that to continue to keep our drives alive. Jet sweep here. Getting good blocks, but Antoine Andrews kind of blocks him right into where I was trying to run. It's going to be 2nd and 6. Staying in shotgun still. Now that we just ran a jet sweep, let's go ahead and go back to a regular run with Ramondre. Following our blockers again, and picking up 3 yards. He's going to make it 3rd and 3. On 3rd and 3, they only got one linebacker back there, so Cordarrelle, we're going to let him go ahead and run it here. Get good blocks, and we do pick up the 1st down. And Cordarrelle has had a lot larger of a role in this game than I expected. I may change that for the second half, but right now it's not hurting us per se. Marquise Goodwin out there. We rarely see him on the field. Good catch by him in the seam where it was wide open. Most likely cover 3 defense there. Running a little bit of a cover 3 beater. Might be able to get Cordarrelle the ball underneath, and we do. He can't really turn up field, though, on the catch. Getting us to the 32. It's going to be 2nd and 7 now. Going to run the ball again here. They don't really have a lot of people behind the line. Get good blocks again. Picking up the 1st. And Cordarrelle's having himself a good game, both catching and running so far. Definitely a low-scoring game so far compared to our last couple of games that have been very high-scoring. Got Jamison coming out of the backfield and cannot hold on to it, though, as he gets pressured right as he's about to catch it. You go ahead and start with Jamison in the backfield and move him back out to a wide receiver spot. See if we can get a mismatch. I do like this play quite a bit. Antoine's not open, but Jamison on the crosser is, but it's going to be inaccurate from Jake Zimmer. And I do see a route I like by Jamison that could be open here. He is able to catch it, knock off the defender, and get into the end zone for a touchdown. I was a little bit worried about him getting open on that play. I don't know why I was, because Jamison is so great on post routes. But a great touchdown, and that's going to tie us up with 3 minutes left before the end of the first half. On 1st and 10 in single back. They run with McCaffrey, and we missed completely. Surtain trying to get off his block, and Chris McCaffrey's finally taken down at the 40 after a big gain. McCaffrey's had a great success running the ball so far. Gotta make sure to try to slow that down a little bit more. On the drag, though, Laviska Shenault picking up the 1st as well. And again, the goal is to get Tariq, a tackle for a loss, a sack, an interception, a forced fumble, or to hold them under 200 passing yards, which is definitely doable. Oh, but Surtain gets beat there. And Ryan Neal is able to eventually kind of push Laviska Shenault out of bounds. But right now, we're not having a lot of success completely stopping this passing attack, and they do have over 100 passing yards. So I think the safer bet here is we got to get Tariq a sack, or we got to get him a forced fumble or an interception of some sort. So we got to put him in position to make a play like that. Again, Shenault beating Surtain on the curl. Surprising, because Laviska Shenault is not the greatest route runner in Madden. And Surtain has had so much success getting interceptions on those types of curl routes. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go back into big nickel, and we've had Isaiah Simmons in the nickel a little bit, but we're going to put Tariq in the nickel and hopefully get a sack if possible. And on the out route a poorly thrown ball a little bit early by Jacoby Brissett, and not a great route run. Lets Isaiah Simmons get the interception in the end zone, and a huge play by this defense to keep them from scoring there. They were in the red zone. But yeah, a bad route by Sammy Watkins. Not a great curl, and a great pick, though, by Isaiah Simmons. Just after the 2-minute warning here, we're going to go ahead and run a fake jet sweep with a QB run. See if we can get some blocks. We're trying to get to the edge, and we do fumble the ball, but we do pick up 6 yards on the play and get out of bounds, so we stop the clock. We got all 3 of our timeouts, no rush. Last time our drive took 4 minutes, and we took our time with 12 plays. Here, a good catch by Juwan Johnson before he gets pushed out of bounds. And we're just working the sideline a little bit, again, trying to make sure we conserve as much time as possible. Want to make sure we have plenty of time when we're in the red zone. We don't want to have a second mistake like we had earlier, throwing over the middle and getting intercepted, kind of forcing a pass. Here, a great pass to Jamison. Again, Jamison always is open on post routes, and here, again, getting wide open over the middle of the field. Running a little no huddle. Gonna run a halfback counter here with Cordarrelle, and everyone's across the middle. Oh, and I tried to do a little bit of a juke hurdle, but Cordarrelle ends up getting tackled for, again, a 4. Not bad. Again, a lot of time. We don't need to rush by any means. Getting back into pistol here. Gonna let Cordarrelle run it again, and gets tackled immediately. On 3rd and 7, run some slants. Threw a dangerous ball to Jamison there. Could have thrown it underneath the Cordarrelle for sure. Instead, it's going to be an incompletion. It's going to be 4th and 7. We're just going to take our field goal. Ideally, we would have been a lot closer. This is a long one, but I know that K. Dork's got the leg to make this. And he does. And so we have a 10-7 lead with about 20 seconds left. Hopefully, we can get a stop. And Tariq is able to get in and get the pressure, so he gets a sack before halftime in the shotgun. And that is a huge play by Tariq, because that ensures that he is going to get a development upgrade regardless of whether we win or whether we do it well on defense as a whole. Baron Browning there with the nice hit, and that is going to be the end of the first half. And kind of a mixed performance from both of these teams. Jake Zimmer having a touchdown and an interception, and Jacoby Brissett with a touchdown and 1 pick. On 1st and 10, looks like we have man coverage here. See if Antoine or Jamison will get open. And I don't see anyone open on this play. We just have to get rid of it. I was hoping that Jake Zimmer's legs would extend that play a little bit more, but they had 3 rushers kind of like just run right at him. Run a little play action. Throwing it underneath to Ramondre. Ramondre, can he make it one-man miss or get a juke or a truck? And he gets a little bit of extra yardage, getting us to the 3rd and 1. Unfortunately, not able to pick up that first down, but feel confident that Cordarrelle is now in. 3rd and 1 here. Run the counter. A little bit of slow developing play, and we cannot pick up the first. Not a great play call by me. Not putting us in the best position to get that first. All right, starting out in a balanced single back formation here. Worrying about the curls. We're kind of on everything, and Jacoby Brissett faces pressure and is forced to throw an incompletion. Again, Tariq already got his sack for the game, so we are golden now. We're just going to go ahead and play our defense how we normally would. Dropping back into cover 3. We're watching the curls. They throw it underneath McCaffrey, though, and he's able to force Ryan Neal to miss. But it's only going to be a pickup of short yardage. And now, with 4 receivers out in the field, and Michael Carter as well. 3rd and 9 situation, definitely a passing down. We're watching underneath. Watching the curls as well. And eventually, Jacoby Brissett just decides it's better to throw the ball away and play and see another drive, because everything was boxed up there. That would have been a pick if he had thrown anything. And they're going to punt to us again here. Again, not a very offensive game. Oh, no, it's a fumble. Isaiah Simmons holds on to it, luckily. That was, yeah, McCollum got right in the way on the return there. But, yeah, no, last time we played them was 35-7. This time we are not holding up our end offensively, getting nearly as many points. Secure a good read option keeper by Jake Zimmer, but he does end up getting tackled after getting the first. We're going to run a little no huddle here, try to keep the defense off balance. We're having a little bit of success. This time we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can do the triple option. Oh, we tried to get it off to Ramondre, but it's a forward lateral, which you think would be basically a shovel pass and not a fumble. But they're going to count it as a fumble here. So we almost had the perfect lateral off to Ramondre, but instead he gets hit as he's making it, and it goes forward, which again would, to me, constitute a forward pass. But I guess they're giving intent to it, and it's going to be a fumble. So now Jake Zimmer with 2 turnovers, not having a great game up to this point. Luckily, the defense is playing very solid. Trying to get to the hole, we cannot. We get blocked. Tariq coming over and making the tackle. McCaffrey, now 50 yards on 5 carries, 10 yards per carry. They're just not giving him enough runs. You're in the third quarter, McCaffrey's averaging 10 yards a carry, and he's only got 5 attempts. That is bad coaching. In I form now, they're probably going to run it just as I said that, and this time, we get him for a loss. We're going to go ahead and let Damon Clark get a little bit of action here. Again, one player that we want to make sure is getting a little more playing time because he definitely deserves it. Has earned that sort of playing time. Baron Brown coming over from the left side and getting the tackle on Christian McCaffrey as Trey Hendrickson is coming down with an injury. Don't like to see that. He is an integral piece of this defense. Again, now they have 2 running backs in the backfield. Again, Michael Carter and Christian McCaffrey. Going to worry about their ability to escape. And they were running a screen there, but we got pressure on Jacoby Brissett just enough to make him kind of throw an incompletion. It's going to be 4th and 7. Trey Hendrickson's out for the rest of the game. And they're going to take the field goal. But, yeah, kind of surprised that they were not able to get that screen pass off there. But we got very lucky. And now it's tied, halfway through the third quarter. Cordarrelle's been getting the ball a lot. I want to make sure that Ramondre continues to get touches. And really just not a whole lot happening in the run game for either of our running backs. Ramondre only averaging 2 yards per carry, and Cordarrelle's averaging about 3. See if Juwan Howard can get open, and he finally does. Able to catch it and get significant yards after the catch, getting down to the 38. It's a little bit of a scary pass because Juwan had not separated from his man until the pass was thrown. But great anticipation from Jake Zimmer. Here another run up the middle, trying to follow our blocks, but really, again, just no push on the line offensively, and only getting 1 yard again. Kind of what Ramondre's bread and butter has been when he's been successful running the football, but only picking up a yard, if that. 9 carries for 15 yards. Again, I don't know what we need to do to get the running game going, but run up the middle, and they shed the block just in time when we were trying to escape with Jake Zimmer. We didn't really see anything open there, and it's going to be 4th and 10. And another very long field goal here for Cade York. Hopefully he can hit this one. Perfect accuracy, a 55-yarder. And he's got so much leg, he can probably make a 65-yarder. All right, 1st and 10 here, and then single back. Kind of worried about a jet sweep of some sort, but they run up the middle with McCaffrey. They do get the tackle, only gets a yard on the carry. I don't like what we're running right now because Hopkins is on the field in the back for us. Got Baron Browning in a deep. Good pass by Jacoby Brissett. They pick up the 1st down. Now, one formation we don't run a whole lot is 3-4 bear with Isaiah Simmons kind of lurking over the back of the field. Kind of by himself. Everyone else up on the line. See if this works out a little bit here. We got an out from Njoku. We got the slant. We got Tariq one-on-one. He gets mossed. Trying to get the interception, but Donovan Peoples-Jones is able to catch it over Tariq. Definitely a matchup that Tariq should be winning. Definitely unfortunate, but that is kind of what Tariq has been allowing, his entire career, which is surprising considering he's 6'4" and he's so athletic. You'd think he would not get mossed like that, but sometimes he just does. In cover 3 here, we got a lot of people up on the line, playing a hard flat. They're in single back again here, watching the pass. And over the middle, we kind of overextended our coverage a little bit with Christian Harris. I wasn't too worried about someone on a curl over the middle of the field, but I guess that was my mistake. I just didn't see that one coming. In single back again here. Potential for a fake jet sweep. Probably a run up the middle again here with McCaffrey. It's actually a pass. And we get another interception with Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah just in the right place at the right time consistently this game. His 2nd pick. And the Giants, again, are kind of shooting themselves in the foot. They keep getting down in our red zone and turning the ball over. You have Colby outside, one-on-one. You gotta toss it up and try to let him go get it. At 6'7", can he win it? And it just gets tipped away just barely. 2nd and 10 here with 7 minutes left in the 4th. Gonna let Ramondre run it. And Ramondre picking up some good yards, making it 3rd and 3. Now up to 22 yards on 10 carries. 3rd and 3, run a little RPO. And it's going to be an incompletion off Jawan Johnson's back. And we're going to have to punt again here. Again, only 13 points. Really a poor performance offensively. But we knew coming into this game that they were playing with some passion and that they have just an outstanding defense. And this second go-around playing against them after the NFC Championship has been a whole lot different. It's been a lot more challenging offensively for us. And could that be attributed to the quarterback change? Potentially. But also not having our number one weapon in Cooper Kupp has definitely made it harder as well. And Eric Stokes misses the tackle. Christian Harris trying to come over and make up for it. But finally, Isaiah Simmons, no, Surtain gets the tackle on Donovan Peoples-Jones down at the 25 after 36 yards after contact on the play. Single back formation again here. They love running trips single back, both sides. And McCaffrey getting hit by Baron Browning. The second big hit by Baron Browning this game. And we're going to force him for a loss here. Again, they came right back after, we couldn't really do anything with the ball. And they're right back in the red zone again. They're living in our red zone. He's rolling out to the left, so we're playing the left side. To complete the pass, though, to Michael Carter. Carter finally goes down at the 28, and they lose 2 yards on the play. So it's going to be 3rd and long at 3rd and 12. We're getting good pressure right now, though, so I'm very happy about that. We know this is a passing situation. We're sending the entire D-line. And dropping back into cover, Surtain. He almost gets the pick on Laviska Shenault, or the pass to Laviska. But it's going to be an incompletion instead. And finally, the Giants are not going to turn the ball over in the red zone just because Surtain couldn't catch it. And instead, as long as they make this field goal, and they do, it's going to be tied 13-13 with 4:50 left. On 1st and 10. We got to get a little bit out of the box here. Having not a lot of success in the ground game, but we're going to do a jet sweep to Antoine Andrews. Unfortunately, the edge could not hold the block long enough for him to really run outside because he had only a one-on-one with the safety. Had the opportunity to make that a big play, but unfortunately, it's not going to really end up that way. Antoine Andrews, though, next play, makes up for it with a nice catch, getting us up to the 42. Now, could this be considered a bad play call? Probably. But, I believe in my guys as the coach. You got to make sure your players continue to have confidence. A regular season game, Ramondre is going to be here on the counter and gets absolutely crushed immediately. No blocks held up. 2nd and 11 here. And I don't expect that they're going to bite on this play action, but we're going to do it anyways. We got someone over the middle and a bad throw running to the left. Definitely a little too risky. After Isaiah Simmons makes the tackle finally. In single back again. I expect them to try to run the clock out as much as they can. And Christian Harris lays a huge hit on Christian McCaffrey. 2nd and 12 now. We do have all of our timeouts. They're going to probably run this play and then get down to the 2-minute warning. We're on Browning right now. We got to make sure that this guy is covered on the out. They do have the slant that's crossing over, and it's completion. It's going to be a 1st and 10. And Jacoby making that pass despite the pressure. All right, now that we need to stop, we're back in our base 3-4 coverage. We got Kenneth Murray Jr. back on the field. We got some... Finally, we got a tackle on McCaffrey. Early, it's going to be 2nd and 7. In I form again here. We're going to start using timeouts very soon. We're going to go ahead and run commit. We know this is a run, or we think it should be a run. McCaffrey running to the right. We stop him for a gain of 1. Now on 3rd and 6. In single back again here. We cannot say that they're definitely not going to pass. Could be an RPO situation. They're running it right up the middle. McCaffrey gets the first. And this is bad. They're down at the 2. We only have 1 timeout left. They're in I form. We should almost let them score. We're going to go ahead and run commit here. We're going to try to see if they can score this TD anyways. And they get it in despite the fact that we ran commit. And so they take a touchdown lead here with 1.5 minutes left. We do have 1 timeout remaining, so we do have the opportunity to come down and tie. But we have struggled mightily on offense this entire game, so we're going to have to put our best couple of plays together here to get us a touchdown drive. Moses Brackett on the return. Some good blocks to the outside. Oh, fumbles it, though. Oh, my God. We fumbled it on the hurdle attempt, and instead... Moses Brackett, finally has a good opportunity to get a return, and instead makes a huge mistake. A mistake that just cannot happen on a kick return. And gets hit mid-air as he's doing a jurdle. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a juke hurdle. and gets hit so hard he fumbles the ball. And now they're in field goal range already, so regardless of whether or not we have any time left, we will not have enough time. They could just kick the field goal and make it a 2-possession game anyways, but that is going to be the end of it. And we are going to lose this time around to the Giants. They do end up beating us and get their revenge from the NFC Championship game. And really, through no fault of the defense played, for the most part, very, very well. And they kicked that field goal just because. Yeah, mostly it was just our offense really struggled and turned the ball over quite a few times. Looking at the stats after the game, Jake Zimmer with his worst game of his career, after coming off a couple of really solid performances with 1 touchdown and 2 picks. You can't say that's really a terrible performance. Obviously, it's not good. It's definitely bad, but 2 picks, 1 touchdown, not the worst game I've ever seen. But yeah, not what we wanted to see. 60% completion percentage and only 220 passing yards. Rushing the football, this was one of our significant struggles. We tried to get the run game going over and over again. Ultimately, looking at the stats, looking at the run game, Jake Zimmer averaged 7 yards per carry, but had 2 fumbles. And Cordarrelle and Ramondre combined for 16 carries for 36 yards. So, averaging slightly more than 2 yards per carry is not going to get it done. Receiving-wise, leading the team was Juwan Johnson, but leading in attempts was a bunch of receivers, including Juwan Johnson. The only person with a TD was Jamison Williams, and everyone else, didn't really have a crazy performance. Antoine Andrews stepped in and had 3 catches and 40 yards. Not bad for stepping in for Cooper Kupp. Defensively, leading the way with tackles was Patrick Surtain, and the next closest was nowhere near, but it was Christian Harris. Sacks, Tariq Woolen ended up having a sack, so that is going to get him a development upgrade, which is super important. Isaiah Simmons with 2 picks, Surtain with none. There are definitely a couple situations where he could have had an interception, but that is it on defense. No forced fumbles. So we end up with our second loss of the season. First, we're going to look at some of our messages from our breakout players. Tariq finally gets to star development, which is huge for him and his continued development as a player. Next, after the game, we have a couple upgrades. Despite Quentin Posey not playing due to injury, he ended up getting an upgrade regardless. And we're going to upgrade his vertical threat again here. Eventually, we want to work on that blocking a little bit more. We've worked on it a little bit already, but he gets some run blocking in this upgrade anyways. But it's important to upgrade his overall as well. Run blocking is looking really solid. Everything is looking really good still for him. And again, he's going to be out for 1 more week with that abdominal tear. Mercedes Lewis gets an upgrade. We're not going to worry about his upgrade because he is quite a bit older. Antoine Andrews, though, coming here with an upgrade. Looking at his route running, his deep route running is by far his best attribute. His medium route running is by far the worst. And his spec catch is not that high. We're going to upgrade his deep threat ability a little bit more because he's not much of a pure go up and get it receiver, even though he is 6'4". Damon Clark comes in with an upgrade. He had a little bit of playing time, so it's nice to see him get an upgrade. He's now a 69 overall. And you got a speed upgrade as well, so he now has 91 speed. That's nice to see. Pat Hopkins gets an upgrade. We're going to upgrade just going to upgrade his overall, get his zone up a little bit more. He gets an upgrade to his awareness, play rec, and zone. Again, very raw. Very low tackling, not what I want to see in terms of play rec. Block shed's low, awareness is low, hit power is not that high. He really just has speed. His excel is not very good either. His zone coverage is decent enough, but yeah, very raw still as a rookie. Nate Vasher filling in quite a bit for a couple different injuries we've had on the team, and he gets an upgrade. We're going to upgrade his speed rushing a bit more, and he gets upgrades to his finesse, play rec, and strength, which is nice. And for our right guard, Logan Stenberg and Mercedes Lewis, we're just going to automate these, continue to keep their overall as high as possible. Again, thank you to those of you who have stuck through the whole video and watched us play against the Giants. I appreciate you so much. Make sure to watch out for the next video where we're going to play against the Cardinals, who are 4-3, and we're now 6-2. Again, thank you so much for watching, and peace, you guys.